TK Irish at Camp Kennerk on a Saturday afternoon. This is a special podcast because we have a new inductee of the Camp Kennerk. What do we call them? We
Happy campers.
Happy campers. See, I get so excited, Douglas. It just goes blank. Of course, my mind goes blank quite often, but I don't have anybody around here to remind me what I'm supposed to be saying. So that's what makes it so special. Having a happy camper, the second one this week. And Douglas, I just can't tell you how fun this is going to be. So introduce our new happy camper.
Well, TK, glad to do that because Brian Storer is my neighbor. And I did a Spotify podcast with him a couple of years back, just like I did with you. And here at the Possum Trot Studios, we've got JoJo Bear, vice president in charge of production over here. And we've got Cowboy Otis over here in charge of security. And now we've got Brian Storer here as our happy camper, and he is very excited. And because he's from Indiana and he talks football, corn, and he's ready to talk to you. Brian, glad to have you here.
Thanks, guys. It's good to be here on this Saturday.
Yeah. Well, Brian, first of all, we got to say, how about them Hoosiers over the
Oh
years?
man, Hoosiers! What a victory today. That was a big one. That was never daunted, but was in doubt for a minute there.
Oh yeah, yeah, and
Yeah.
especially exciting because you're a homegrown Hoosier. You remember all the years of 0 and 10, 0 and 11. You
Oh yeah.
know, and so this is so exciting for everybody in the state, even in the country, because everybody loves an underdog, especially when the underdog comes out and bites everyone in the backside.
Yeah,
So
and they've been kind of called overrated and fluky and everything else, but it's pretty clear this year that they are the real deal.
yeah,
So it's a new era for the Hoosiers.
yeah.
It's
Now,
fun.
weren't they 10-0 last year?
Yeah, they were, but when they went into the playoffs, a lot of people said they didn't belong in there. And then I've pointed out they lost to the two finalists and the eventual champions, and they actually lost by less points than anybody in that whole playoff series, except for that UT game that was so close. So I thought they were berated a lot when they shouldn't have been, for making the playoffs last year.
Now, who's the new coach? Who's this coach who's turned this around, Brian?
Coach Signetti, he's the man. I think everybody knows the term Google me now. All I do is win. And it's pretty much true. He's, 22 now he's got in 2 seasons. And if you look at the next two games, those should be wins, Wisconsin and Purdue. So we'll go against Ohio State undefeated against the two Big Ten number one and twos going at it for the Big Ten championship.
Well,
Now, that's
Brian,
the
I'm
last
gonna
game. Is that the last game of the season?
Yeah, the Big Ten championship will be Purdue is their biggest rival, as you probably know, and that's their last game of the season. But then the championship game will be against Ohio State. It looks like.
Well, Brian, you remember all the years that Ohio State used to come to town and
Oh
just
yeah,
kick the living daylights
yeah,
out of them. I
yeah.
mean, took no mercy. So I imagine that there's going to be a lot of placards and signs around
Yeah.
Bloomington saying, "Remember Ohio State."
Yeah,
And
there'll be plenty of motivation at TK, that's for sure. And really, except for Iowa and Penn State, we've blown everybody out. So, I mean, you wouldn't expect that against Ohio State. That should be a real close game. But I think, is it played in Indy this year, the Big Ten championship?
I am
If
not
so,
sure.
that kind of, you could call that a home field advantage.
Yeah. So, Brian, did you grow up in Indiana?
Actually, I moved around a little bit. I was born in Michigan, and then my father was an architect. He got a job in Illinois, and I was there until I was 8. Then he got a bigger job in South Carolina. So at one point, I thought I'd be a USC Gamecock, not a USC Trojan. And I lived there till I was 16. And then parents divorced. And so I did high school in LaPorte, Indiana, and I did college in Bloomington, 4.5 years there. I was there when Lee Corso was the coach, if you can believe it.
I remember that. Yes.
He wasn't a great coach, but he was a good analyst. He was a lot of fun to watch
Yeah.
before
Well,
retiring this
you
year.
grew up not far from where I grew up in Fort Wayne. So
Okay,
Fort
yeah, we're
Wayne, we
practically
used to play
neighbors.
you guys in basketball.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. Yeah, the
And
Slicers, the LaPorte Slicers. So I had the two weirdest mascot names in high school and college, a Slicer and a Hoosier.
yes.
I don't know. I think my mom, I asked her, how did they come up with Slicers? And I think it was just like one of the big businesses in that small little town. They sold meat slicers is the best I could get out of it, but that's what we were. So we had to import the bison now, which
Okay.
I don't know how that ties in for the Hoosiers, but I like it better than just really no mascot.
Yeah. Well, creativity and the word Hoosiers really don't cross very often. So
Yeah, yeah.
they're pretty cut and dry.
Yeah, there's a lot of different stories. I don't know what you've heard, something about the river that separated the two, and I don't know, but and then of course there's everybody going Hoosier Daddy and all that nonsense.
Yeah, well, we
But
got
we know
such,
Hoosier we are now, don't we?
yeah,
We're
yeah,
number two, soon
yeah.
to be number one.
Now,
So
is
yeah,
LaPorte a corn city, corn town? Did you grow up around corn, near corn?
I think the bigger corn state would be Illinois. I think they have a lot more farms, although I'm sure Indiana does have plenty of corn, but not as much as like Illinois. But a lot of farmland and a lot of just nothing to do in LaPorte, actually. You know, so
well,
Well,
Brian, just
go ahead.
remember how fortunate these people are who live in LaPorte. I mean, we had three TV channels
yeah,
and maybe a phone line if we were lucky, if our phone
yeah,
would
right.
work,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Rotary dial.
Yeah, rotary dial. Yeah. Some of my cousins even had the party lines where the phone would ring two times, then that
Yeah.
meant it was for you. If it rang three times, it was
Yeah.
your neighbor down the street.
You'd have that long cord and you'd go around the corner and hide in a closet so you could talk to your girlfriend or boyfriend, keep your parents' ears out of the conversation, right? Back in the day.
Oh yeah.
So that's why I think Indiana probably had so many basketball players, good basketballers, nothing else to do.
That's
So
well,
that's
that's
not true in
true.
all the cities, obviously. Indy's a big city, and Fort Wayne's much bigger than LaPorte,
Oh yeah,
actually.
yeah. Fort Wayne
Yep.
was probably number two, number three as size in the state at the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. What was their big industry?
In Fort Wayne, they had International Harvester.
Oh,
They,
wow.
they
Okay.
made the Jeeps,
Okay.
and then we also had a company called Central Soya. They were a big brokerage firm for soybeans. They're a big international
Okay.
broker for basically soybeans. I don't think they dealt
Okay.
with anything else. And of course, we had our sports program, the Fort Wayne Comets, which was the actually is now, Douglas, you'll appreciate this. 1953, Fort Wayne got a minor league hockey team called the Comets. Now it is still in action, and it is the oldest active minor league team in the country.
Oh,
No
wow.
kidding. No
Oh,
kidding.
yeah, that was a highlight to go in the winter to go watch the hockey game.
Yeah. Hockey's great because you have three sports there. You got skating, you got fighting, and then you got hockey, right?
Yeah,
You get to see three for the price of one.
yeah, yeah. So, and you get to make the decision. What do you want to see? You want to see a fight first? Okay. Well, you want to
Yeah,
go?
that's right.
What's amazing?
Yeah.
I went to a fight and a hockey game broke out.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So true. Yeah.
That's very funny. That's very funny, Brian. Skating, fighting, and hockey. Man,
Yeah, it's three
three
three different
sports.
sports all rolled into one. It's pretty
But
cool.
you specialize in a very interesting sport at the University of Indiana.
Yeah.
Legendary.
You remembered.
Oh, of
Yeah,
course I do.
the Breaking Away. You might remember that movie, TK. Breaking Away is
Yeah.
about Little 500, which is patterned after the Indianapolis 500.
Oh,
And
sure.
so 33 teams qualify, and it's a team of four bike riders and a 200 lap race, which is 50 miles. So it's instead of 200 laps and 500 miles, it's 50 miles. But pretty cool. It's a billed as big as college party weekend in the U.S. And I went back recently this year, and I can attest to you, it still is. That's for sure. But yeah, it was really, really a neat time. We would, practice as much as any of the other football or basketball. We put about 3 hours in a day on the bike, all the way up to the race. So it was really a lot of fun and really enjoyed
Yeah,
that.
you guys, back then the little five, as they would call it, was there at
Yep.
the old stadium, which had a cinder track. You guys rode on a cinder
I
track.
rode on a cinder track. I still have cinders in my knee, black cinders in my knee that one time our bike mechanic he was repairing our bike or whatever, and they put the front sprocket on or the back sprocket on wrong. And I jumped on the bike and pedaled really fast, and the chain fell right off. And my knee went over, and I went down on that track. And there's a lot of people walking around with cinders in their elbows and I mean, face sometimes and
Yeah,
everything else. It was gnarly.
yeah,
Had a guy scrubbing it out of my knee, and it was
yeah.
pretty
Well, I'm going
painful.
to take a break here, get my Dr. Pepper. I guess I get thirsty when I start talking to another Hoosier.
There
So,
you go,
got your
Dr.
Dr.
P.
Pepper, Douglas?
I got mine. Now, Brian, what year did you go to Indiana?
Now, Doug, you're gonna age me. I know most people are thinking, looking at this picture, I'm 30, 35 maybe, but
Yes, you are.
I graduated.
Brian, it's what you can sell.
Yeah. I graduated a few years after Mark Cuban, another famous Hoosier. And so I graduated in 86. And so that was the last time getting back to TK. We've been in a long, long drought. And that was the last time the Hoosiers won in 87, actually, the basketball, tournament, NCAA tournament, beating Syracuse, shot heard around the world. Keith Smart hit it from the corner,
Oh,
time
yeah.
expiring. That was awesome. And we have been dead in the water ever since. So although if you look at IU now, our soccer team's the winningest soccer team. We won, I think, 8 or 9 national championships. No one's come close. We've been to 18. And they're ranked again this year. Our women's volleyball team's now ranked. Our basketball team looks pretty good. I saw their first game just earlier this week, and they're looking really good. And now we have football. So this would be a really good time for a young kid to be going to Indiana University. They're
Oh,
they're
yeah.
having a lot of fun right now.
Yeah, and athletics is the number one recruiting tool that colleges use
Yeah,
to,
sure.
get their student body built up.
Makes sense because like look at all my excitement now. I got a friend here that moved here 2 years ago. We've been going to all the games pretty much this year together, watching them somewhere, and it's just really neat when you have a winning team that you can support. It's like now I know what it feels like to be Alabama, except for we need about 15, 20 more years of this.
Yeah. Yeah. We may need more just to make up for lost time.
Yeah, really. When we were the losingest, it's hard to believe the losingest college football program. I mean, there's a lot of college football programs out there, right? Like 170 or something, and we
Yeah.
were right there. We were number one at being number last.
Well, we were always taught the Hoosiers are number one. They just didn't tell you which way up or which way
Yeah,
down.
yeah. It depended if you're going on ascending or descending order, right?
Yeah, exactly. So,
So
what did you study there at IU?
I was School of Public and Environmental Affairs, or SPIA. A lot of people call that business light because their business school is so good. And if you can't hack it there, then you go to SPIA. But it's actually, I think their School of Public and Environmental Affairs is ranked in the top 5, maybe number 1. So they
Yeah.
have a really good school there. And so that's like if you want to go into politics or city management or anything like that, SPIA, you get a lot of business in that, but it's kind of geared more towards I guess, government types of jobs
Yeah.
if you wanted to go that direction.
Yeah, I studied. Somehow I got it into the School of Business, and don't ask me how.
Look at you, big
Yeah,
timer.
yeah, yeah. So there was no qualifications. You just had to go to class,
Yeah.
and not flunk
No,
them.
when did you graduate?
77.
Okay, so you were just there a couple years before me, a decade or so.
Yeah, yes, that's
Yeah.
when Bob Knight was in charge, and they were winning basketball games.
All the time. Yeah, you really had a lot of fun. So you got to see Isaiah's run, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, the undefeated.
yeah.
Boy, that must have been a ton of fun.
Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
remember I was dating a young lady at the time, and we decided that we were going to get our seats together for the basketball season. Well, we did that, but we broke up.
Oh
Then
no. So what'd you do with the seats?
well, we split
Did
them
you just
up.
put like a box in between you so you
Yeah, yeah,
could
we had a piece of
a
cardboard,
cardboard box?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And so that was always a point of contention because now I understand, when when couples get divorced and they have season tickets to the games, that's the biggest thing of who gets what games.
Yeah, yeah, it becomes a big deal,
Yeah,
huh?
and it did because there were times, well, I want this game. I said, we made a deal. These are
Yeah.
my games, these are your games. Well, I didn't know the Michigan game was going to be so important. Well,
Like
excuse
fighting over
me.
kids or the dog or whatever. It's
Yeah,
like, this is my week. But I don't
exactly.
know, back then, I imagine, I mean, it's just a different world with ticket prices. It's insane what's going on and with anything, concerts, football, basketball, any sporting events, because you're buying them at double, triple, quadruple, the face value. Um,
Yeah.
to go to
They
these
were
games, it's crazy.
uh, you season tickets. I mean, you got the right to like for 4 or 6 games for the season,
Uh-huh.
and that
Yeah.
sort of became you got part of that as your package when you
Yeah, I think it was the same way when I went there too. Yeah, you get those tickets, but now you can sell, I mean, playoff tickets for a lot.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
um, it'll be, and actually, I was going to go back to watch them play Illinois this year, and then I had a little health thing that popped up. I couldn't go, but the hotels, I'm talking about like, Tom Bodine's Motel 6 and
yeah.
all those, they were like $300 and $400 a night for the weekend. And any other non-sporting weekend, it would be like 49.99
Yeah.
or $79. I mean, that's capitalism at work right
Yes, it is.
there.
Well,
People
you'll
are
appreciate
really
that. You'll
supply
appreciate
and
that.
demand.
I was a bartender at Nick's Old English Pub.
Oh, great. I love that.
Yeah, and so you talk about when the games come in town. You talk about a place getting rowdy.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah,
still to this day, Nick's is fantastic. Yeah, really
yeah.
cool spot.
Matter of fact, I was back there several years ago with my kids, and we stayed at the student union there on
Uh-huh.
campus,
Yeah,
and took them over to Nick's. We had a burger, and
yeah.
then where across from the student union is the facility that we all used to play basketball. They had the 15 basketball courts. What was the name of that building? Is
Oh gosh, I know what you're talking about. I used to go there also to that workout area. They had racquetball courts too.
Yeah. Oh, it was
And I used to
huge.
love playing racquetball. I can't remember what they called it. And they had swimming. You could swim, or because of course we used to have. I don't know if our swim team's good anymore, but Mark Spitz came out of IU.
Yeah.
He was the original Michael Phelps of the day. He won 8 gold medals or whatever. But yeah, I can't think of it right
Well,
now.
that's where I was introduced to become a triathlon.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, but it was a special setup. It was a white collar triathlon.
Oh, okay.
That means you took a sauna, steam, and shower, and then you
Oh
competed in an event.
yeah. All right, I'm tracking now. I like that. That's a
Yeah.
good
It was
triathlon right
it was
there.
brutal sometimes, Brian, but you
Yeah.
just gotta suck it
So,
up.
somebody's got to do it, TK.
That's right.
It's good of you to take that hit
But
for the rest
that's
of
part
us.
of leadership. You just got to
Yeah, yeah.
take it and show everybody it can be done no matter what time you woke up in the morning
Well,
or
see,
got
I like
home in
to
the morning.
say I like to say I still have all 4 years of my eligibility left. So, like, if they need me to call me in to do that triathlon, I can do it because I
Okay,
haven't.
well,
Yeah,
I'll talk
Or,
to some
or,
of the
or if they meet me
alumni.
in the fourth quarter at IU, make that Omar Cooper catch, I can jump. I've looked at it. I can actually a credit card, not just flat, but up like this. I can jump higher than that.
Get out
So
of town.
I'm serious. I can do that.
That's about the height of a popcorn pop. When a kernel
Yeah.
pops, it gets about that high. So that's quite a thing to be
Well,
proud of.
well, I'll give you. I'm glad that ties into where my sister went to school. She went to school at Valpo, and a little known fact to folks is that is where Orville Redenbacher was, I guess, the popcorn king, and they do a popcorn festival there
Oh
every year.
yes, yes.
Yeah, so that's how I practiced the credit card thing. I would see if I could jump over the popcorn kernel,
Ah,
and then I went from there.
well, my
Well,
family
Brian, we call TK the popcorn king because TK, tell them what your family grew on your farm.
popcorn.
Oh,
For who?
okay. So I'm wrong. There is a lot of corn obviously going on in
For
Indiana. If you had
TK, for who?
just
For
not where I
who?
was at.
Jiffy Pop popcorn.
No kidding. That's awesome.
Oh,
I I say that I make one of the best. I always do my popcorn, I don't do microwave popcorn or any of that nonsense. I do it the real way, right on the stove, the big deep pot, and it nobody has ever complained about my popcorn. So I wish I had connected to you back then. I would have gotten all that Jiffy Pop,
oh
right
man, we
from
had
the
more Jiffy Pop than we could imagine. But well, Brian, you talk about popping popcorn the traditional way, the way that we do it.
Yeah.
Not long ago, I had a little popcorn party at the house, and people didn't they had never seen someone pop popcorn in
Yeah.
in a pot.
Yeah.
So they lifted the lid.
Oh, she's right as it was going.
Hell, everything broke loose, Brian, just everywhere.
That's like the little where you crank the crank, diddle diddle diddle, and then out comes the little,
Oh,
whatever, snake or
it
whatever.
took me 2 weeks before I think I finally found the last kernel out there.
That's pretty good. I like that. That's a good
Well,
story.
you'll like this, Brian, because as TK and I dream about as we proceed with Camp Kennerk podcast, that we come up with our own Camp Kennerk popcorn because TK has the experience of Jiffy Pop and the brand name of Camp Kennerk, and he's a popcorn king. So we may
Yeah,
be
totally.
knocking on your door for a big kettle, and you make the Storer brand
Yeah, I'll show them
popcorn.
how I do it. Yeah, between me and TK, we can serve the whole neighborhood
We
for
call these
sure.
$1 million ideas. We've got a whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
As you watch our podcast from and other people around the galaxy, we've got a lot of $1 million ideas. And we're going to start with the Camp Connor podcast, and you're going to be our chief popper.
I'm
Yes.
I mean, just between you and me and the fence posts, I'm thinking Shark Tank next year.
Yeah.
We've already Mark Cuban. Well, we missed his reign. He would have supported us being a Hoosier, but yeah, he's off the show now. Darn it.
You know,
Okay.
I moved down here in about 78, and I'd buy popcorn and it just never had well, then I started looking at the label. Well, it's coming from like Tennessee, where it's coming
Oh
from.
yeah, that's
So
the wrong
finally,
place to get your corn.
yeah, so I just made a, one time I was up there, I went to the store, found the popcorn guy who grew it there in central Indiana, and
Yeah,
he'd ship them to me. I'd buy, 5, 10 pounds at a time, and he'd ship it to me, and life was good.
I like that. That's great. Yeah. It's and popcorn, relatively it's the value is pretty good because you can, and that's the funny thing about it is you just buy it in a bag, and pop it on the stove. I mean, well now price of everything's up, but a couple bucks a bag and you can get a lot of popcorn out of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
So
I think during college and even after college, that was one of my main courses to
yeah,
survive.
popcorn and pizza would be
Yeah,
the
yeah.
two things. Yeah. So
Now,
uh,
Brian, do you know what corn ribs are? I was up in Canada and there was a gal up there at a restaurant and she was serving corn ribs.
That's interesting. We used to do corn on the cob right on the, grill or in a
Yes.
fire and wrap it and, roasted corn and all that. And there's a lot of great ways to do it. I don't know what that is. Tell me about it.
As she explained it to me, you take the corn cob and you cut it all the way down to there, and then you take that strip of corn and you deep fry it.
Oh, geez. Yeah. Well, of course, anything deep fried is usually good. Not good for you, but it tastes pretty good. I mean, if they're going to deep fry butter,
Well, the Texas State Fair is deep fried butter, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, a lot of places do that. So, but
So,
that
how
sounds
did you
good. You
get
ever
to
had it that way,
Austin?
TK?
I'm sorry?
Have you ever had it that way?
No, no, I was
Yeah,
Douglas was just telling me about it a couple of weeks ago.
yeah,
So
it's interesting.
the Canadians, they got a whole new idea of creativity when it comes to culinary design
That is
delights.
true. Yeah,
Uh,
that's true.
Brian, how did you get to Austin?
So one of the great things about IU, and this I used to joke with my buddies like TK who were in the smarter business school, they all would make fun of us SPIA folks, like you can't make it in business school. Well, I had like 3 or 4 job offers coming out of school before I graduated. It was the best thing ever. And they would all be in the study hall and I'd come back and I'd be waving around, ha, I had the easy way out and I got a job already. But the first job I had was with a medical device company, and they hired me, saying, "We don't. Where do you want to live?" And I said, "Well, I'd like the warm weather, so it'd be cool if I could go somewhere kind of warm." And they said, "Well, hang tight." I went back home and I substitute taught high schoolers, only being a few years older than them. That was interesting. While I waited, and the first offer they had, they said, "Well, there's a territory open in Texas, in Houston." And I thought, Texas, it's big. I'm tall. I'm 6'5". They just had like 2 Miss Americas that come from Texas in the past few years. Like they got pretty women. And then I went to the library because there was no Google me
Yeah.
stuff back then. And I looked at the number of sunny days and I'm like, I guess I'm going to Texas. So that's how it happened.
Yeah, I moved down here right out of school as well. And I remember moving down here, and one of the things that irritated me, I went to work for a department store, which is sort of like Macy's as a body.
Okay. I had one of those offers too. Yeah.
And invariably, I would talk to one of my new coworkers, and we'd be talking about, and that was invariably said, "It's big," or something. Oh, how about this one? Oh, it's big. Everything
Yeah.
was big, and I used to get irritated until I finally realized that, yeah, everything is big.
Yeah, you can fit like 5 states in there, and if
Yeah,
you like beef, you're not going to have any shortages of
yeah,
that. Did you get yours through? So I left out the part though. IU has a career center, and like when you're a senior, you can interview for jobs that you could put in and pick just different companies that all come there. So
yeah,
they had came to the campus, so it was the easiest thing ever.
yeah. I
Really, I
went through
just
that, and that's how
is
I
that
got
what
the
is that how
job.
you got
Yeah,
yours too?
yeah,
It's a really neat program, and that's when you go, okay, I see the value of college because I mean they literally brought
yeah.
the job right to us.
Yeah, when I started it, the company was called Sanger Harris. I was talking to somebody later on in the HR. They said, you know, it's amazing that the people we interview from Indiana they interview the best. We go Oklahoma, Texas, stuff.
Well,
And I
that's
said, well,
interesting.
I'll give you a secret is that we have a class that we had to take as
Yeah, we
well.
did. Yeah, yeah. They prepped the resume. Remember, way before people put pictures on the resume, there would be a picture there. LinkedIn, everybody goes there to see what somebody looks like, and you would have your picture up in the left-hand corner, and then yeah, they taught you how to write the resume. They taught you about interviewing. It was great.
Yeah.
So more schools should do that for sure.
I'm
Now,
sure things have changed in how they interview now. I mean,
Yeah,
because I remember when I interviewed when I got out of the Federal Witness Protection Program,
that
um,
was just last year, though, wasn't
18 months exactly.
it? Yeah. Okay. I still don't know your real name.
Well, shh. My
Yeah,
last
keep
name
that
is
on the
Kennerk.
DL.
Kennerk.
Right.
Kennerk.
Yeah, okay.
TK Irish.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you
yeah.
go.
So, Brian, how did you get to Austin? You said you got to Texas.
Yeah, yeah. So I was in Houston for 11 years, and then I eventually was a manager for Johnson and Johnson. We sold disposable contact lenses. So I had 8 reps scattered across Texas, and I had one in Austin. And every time I'd come here, he would take me to the coolest spots around, because his goal was to get me to move here. And I really just loved it. I like all the live music and the way that we got a beautiful lake cutting right through downtown, and the trails and the hill country and all that. So I was just really, once I'd been here like for my third visit, I was like, I've just got to put my house for sale and come to Austin. So that
So,
was
are you
98.
are you still in medical device sales? What are you doing?
Yeah, so I transitioned from that to as I was a manager, I would hire people. Of course, you use recruiters to help find top talent. So I had done that, and I ended my career as like a director of sales for a small startup company, and so I was traveling all the time. It's on the road, 4 days a week, and had half the country, and just was company wasn't doing great, and I was just thinking, what could I do? I don't want to be traveling like this anymore. And I thought, well, I've used recruiters, and maybe I could make a go of doing that. So then I opened up my own little company and called Coast to Coast Recruiters, and put a shingle on the roof, and here we go, 23 years later, still doing it.
So
You know, Brian,
if we find somebody who knows how to sell plastic elbows and hearts and noses, are you the guy?
Yeah, we moved away from the plastic elbows, though. There was a lot of problems with those. But yeah, in general, pharmaceutical, dental, medical, could be anything, knee replacements, could be diagnostics is becoming really big now, diagnostic testing for different things. So I've kind of worked the whole gamut, really anything in the medical field. I could place those types of reps or
Brian,
managers.
real quick. Now, I heard this goes back some years ago about a medical device. It was like a pacemaker.
Hmm.
And the problem is that every time the patient had gas, the garage door opened. The garage door would open up. Is that true?
Well, I'm not sure about that, but I think it'd be cool if every time IU scored a touchdown, it could play the fight song. That would be neat.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I don't know about the garage door thing.
DK, $1 million idea for our new website
There you
coming in
go.
2026.
You can present that along with the corn right there at Shark Tank next season. You can do
Yeah.
both.
We're bypassing Shark Tank. We're just going to open up our own $1 million idea website and start promoting. We've got a whole list of products, Brian.
Look out, Amazon.
Yeah.
You're a big community. You're a big community leader. I don't. I'll let you do the humble brag, but you do work in the community because you're my neighbor. You're Doug the neighbor's neighbor.
That's true. Yeah. Well, I mean, what do you mean by that community work? I've done,
Well, Boy Scouts. Last
yeah, we did Boy Scouts for many, many years. And then I do a Meals on Wheels route on Fridays. I enjoy doing that. And
do you work with Bill Tennessee, who lives at the corner of Possum Trot and West Ninth? He does Meals on Wheels
oh,
too.
does he? Yeah. I don't know because they have so many volunteers,
Oh,
and
okay.
so you just pick a route, and then and some people do it more than once a week. I usually do it at lunch on Fridays, and my route's kind of a little north of here, up by like Airport and 35 area.
Oh,
Um,
so
and so
you are with the Boy Scouts and Meals on Wheels. You are ensconced into the neighborhood. You're a good
yeah,
neighbor.
yeah. And then we did some donations to the Book Spring Library, and a bunch of books for underprivileged kids and stuff like that. We've done a lot of those different things over the years.
Douglas, Brian could be one of our role models, don't you think?
He already is. I go by his house and I call it the Hobbit house because it looks like a Hobbit house.
Yeah.
And he is a community leader because I've known about this. I'm asking this question, but I know the answers, and he is. I'm humbled by whenever I walk by his house. I have to
Well,
wave and just go.
you do plenty of community leadership and neighborhood leadership, and you do your possum trot walk, which is awesome.
Well, thank you, but let's just say, in comparison, Brian, you're my daddy.
I don't know about that. You have hit country songs that I've
Yes,
heard
I
that
have
are
the country
awesome,
songs. Yes,
and you've written a book on top of all that. So
awesome short stories and books and some
yeah,
screenplays. Yes.
theater. You got your video. You're blowing up everywhere. In fact, next time I see you, I'd like to get the 8x10 glossy signed, if you don't mind, autographed.
I got a better idea.
What's
We'll
that?
work this together. You must still have a bunch of friends back in Indiana.
Oh yeah.
Family, share this video with all of your friends there because you should humble brag your community work and being a stand-up guy here in the awesome Austin, Texas.
Well, there you go. I like it. Maybe I
And
can get a
Brian,
fan
we
club
are
going.
we are taking applications for future Hall of Fame happy campers. So if they want to participate, if they feel brave enough, we'd be more than happy to put them through the vetting system, which is really not much.
Yeah. Yeah, if I got through it, anybody could. That's for
No,
sure.
no, 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 you deserve it. And also, TK, we've got Brian here as our popcorn connoisseur. That he said he makes his own popcorn.
Oh, yes. Yes. I mean, that was the first thing I was going to listen for is to see what he did with his popcorn. If he was said he would have put it in the microwave,
Yeah.
I would have just been so disappointed,
You would
Brian.
have to end the
I would have,
podcast right there. That's
I
not
think I would have
acceptable.
started having alligator tears coming down my cheek that I met a Hoosier who cheated on popcorn.
That's right.
Okay, back to that. What's that joke about there's 25 cards in a Hoosier card game? What is that?
Well, I don't know if it's a joke, but the only thing I thought of was we play a lot of euchre up there, and I was thinking I don't know how I can't remember if there's that's what it was that many
26.
cards in
Yeah,
there,
I
but
think it's
was I
26. Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
26, right?
Yeah.
So is that what you were referring to?
Yeah. That's the
So I
national
got it.
game
I
of
nailed it.
Indiana.
Yeah, that's how you know right there. We've played a lot of that in college. It's a fun game.
Oh, so you play euchre and you say Hoosiers and nobody knows what it means. Do you still use the Hoosier handshake where you put your hands like this and it looks like a corn cob, something like that? You know, is that the secret
Don't
sign?
tell him, Brian.
We
Don't
can't
tell him.
reveal that.
Don't
Yeah,
tell him,
that's
Brian.
classified. I mean, TK just now got his citizenship back or his identity back from all those years. There you go.
Yeah. So,
TK, it's I don't know what to say.
well, I'll tell you what, I still haven't had my Dr. Pepper yet because I'm awful thirsty just talking about that popcorn. So I want to have a sip here real quick. And
Myself.
I should have gotten the
Brian, I
Dr.
think,
Pepper. I see I messed up there.
hey, that's okay, Brian. You're still learning, you know.
Yeah, it's the first
We'll
time.
invite you back when you get a Dr. Pepper. You can call us back and we'll have you back for a repeat.
Well, the last time Doug supplied it to me, so I assumed he would deliver it to my front door, and there was nothing there. So,
Uh,
and
well,
plus, I'm not getting paid here,
you,
so
you're getting,
Brian, I'm delivering a Dr. Pepper to you because you are my neighbor. You're a great neighbor.
you're a good man. Appreciate it.
well, Douglas, I think it's time for me to get back to the football games.
Yeah,
I got to suit up for a couple more games, and Brian, I just want to tell you how much fun it was to talk to you. I don't get to talk to real Hoosiers very often.
yeah, that's right. You got to take advantage when you can, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. So it's been a lot of fun. Douglas, what words of wisdom do you have for us?
All I can say is, what's a Hoosier and go Cowboys?
There we
Arrow go
go.
Bra.
Doug, did you see the Cowboys documentary, like 5-part series? It's so good. I think it was on Netflix.
Yes, I
Uh,
did. Yes,
wasn't that good? Did you enjoy that? I thought that was fantastic.
Yes, I just thought it was kind of a rehash of a lot of things I already knew as a fan, but
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
good. It was nice. It was good.
It was just interesting to see those dynamics, between Jerry Jones to me and
Jimmy Johnson
Jimmy
and Tom
Johnson
Landry.
and yeah, and all those guys. So I thought it was good.
Yeah. All right. Go Cowboys, TK.
There
Brian,
we go,
thank you very
bro.
much for showing up. We appreciate it.
Yes,
Have a
sir.
good
Go
one, guys.
Hoosiers.
That's right.